for us. I
Yeah,
hope I'm audible and you can see me clearly.
very much.
Same with you. I can see you very clearly and you're very much audible also. Much better than Facebook, I believe. So I'm
Yeah,
sure
I
the
think
people are
so.
going they're going to enjoy the session here more than even Facebook. So hi
Right.
everybody, a very good evening to all of you and a warm welcome to Kanchan Rai. Today we are going to discuss about anxiety and depression around lockdown, which we all are going through. Before that, I would just like to brief a bit about Kanchan to all of you. So, we have a mental wellness coach here with us today, Kanchan Rai. And Kanchan Rai is an experienced, trained, certified, certificate holder wellness coach who teaches ways of overcoming failure and mental disability. A graduate of the Harvard Business School and a specialist in leadership development and authentic leadership. Founder of Let's Talk organization. And by her session, one can overcome mental health, the law of attraction, how to implement it, learn to strengthen your psychological cord. The key to shaping your life is in your hands. So it's a pleasure and honor to have Kanchan Rai, wellness coach, with us here today. So,
Thank you so much, Madhvi.
yeah, and today we are here to tackle all the issues related to depression, anxiety, and lockdown. Madhi's Luxury Co. in association with Let's Talk organization is here and is going to come up with series of such sessions where we have the panel expert Kanchan Rai, wellness coach, who's here to answer all your queries on mental wellness. Anybody has a question, you can please put up a question. We are here to answer. And I have received some of the questions, Kanchan, which we would like to have the answers from you. And I
Sure.
think it can benefit many people. So the first question is how to overcome mental health around this time.
See, I think this is a very vast question right now because overcoming in mental health is, it's like creating a ray of hopes. Generally, we used to say earlier, like, we must try to get busy. I mean, say we should try to get involved in the things which we always wanted to do and all. But now I think the people have reached to a point where all these things doesn't appeal much to them because everyone is so much done by working upon the things which they want to work upon or learn something new which they always want to learn. Now the situation is like everyone is a point like they can actually get into a zone which is on a very darker side very soon. So at this point of time or right now, I would always want my clients or everyone, you should try to pull each other out. It's a very simple
Right.
thing, like it's today is my chance, tomorrow is your chance. So today you can be in a place where I was yesterday or where I can be tomorrow. So this thing which we have to do now, we have to come up with a society. We have to come up with like a commodity, or we have to come up in a way so that we are always there for each and every one of us to pull out and
Awesome.
to help each other. Like we now are at a point it becomes very difficult. Okay, I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to be with my family. I have to do some hobby classes and all. I think the time which we are in right now is actually increasing day by day. So right now I would just want everyone to help each other rather than helping yourself. You can help a person nearby you. You can try to get a person out of a darker zone who is near to you, and maybe tomorrow he'll do the same thing.
Beautiful. Very nice. I mean, people are writing spot on, and I think they are pretty convinced with your reply. And I'm sure it's going to benefit many people. And that's the reason, probably, we have also tried to come up with a self help group or something like, where we all can discuss and talk issues. Everybody can open up, and, maybe we are able to help them out through this way. Other
Right.
question which I got was about anxiety. How to combat anxiety?
See, there are many different ways to actually combat anxiety. Anxiety is not limited to one particular thing. Anxiety is like, a thing I feel uncomfortable with, and I started thinking, or I start thinking about that particular thing, and it creates more fuss in my mind. So first of all, you need to face it. Rather than hiding from it or rather than escaping from it, we need to face it. Like what we are scared of. And once you are able to face it, and you are in a position where you don't need to escape from any such thing, you have already overcome half of the thing. Like half of the problem is already solved. And then now we have to work upon is what can be done to deal with the remaining half. So you can actually try to figure out the root cause, what is scaring you, and try to work upon that root cause. And then you can actually try to figure out yourself, or maybe you can try to help out or take a help from someone who can actually give you a very unbiased opinion.
Right.
Generally, we are tend to judge ourselves in a different way, but we need to have a holistic picture of it. So we always need someone who can see us, who can actually know us, or who can actually understand us in a very different way rather than we do to our own self. So first of all, you need to figure out what is the main cause of it. Second thing, you have to face it rather than running from it. And once you face it, you have to try to come out of it. So this is a phase thing which we have to work upon. So this is actually coming up with your anxiety issue is actually based into 3 different zones. First thing is identify, second thing is accept it, and third thing is face it. That's a very simple trick to do.
Yeah, you cannot just live with it and be, in the anxiety all the time, but you need to rather commit to get over it and.
Right.
Yeah, and what about the panic attacks? Like, some people have also been getting panic attacks.
Panic attacks are nothing but the fears and stigmas of your mind which come up in a very different way, which we cannot imagine ourselves. Like there are so many things piled up in our brain. So I always say, like, if there is a very small thing which is hurting you or pinching you, try to come out of it. And once you are out, it won't pile up. So what we have tendency to do is, like, we keep on piling things. We keep on piling emotions. We keep on piling things which are like, not doing any good to us rather than doing harm to us. So before these things pile up and get into a position where you are actually, where you surrender yourself, we need to do certain things where we ourselves as an individual take hold of it and don't let anything to rule over us or rule over our brain or rule our mind. So first thing is, like, as I always say, try to figure it out, and then don't let things to pile up. If you feel that there are certain things which are hurting you, or you feel there are certain things which are disturbing you, you have to be very careful about them, and then you have to figure out, like, what is happening with you. Once you will not let these things pile up, things will get easier, and there won't be any kind of panic attacks.
Right, beautiful, well said. Because I think the more you keep the problems, the more they'll increase. It's better to get over the problems and find a solution and get over it. Beautiful, well said.
Right.
And the audience also has a question. You can please ask a question, because I can see a lot of good comments and you are very happy with the replies that Kanchan is giving. I'm glad, and I'm sure we're all going to benefit from the conversation here today. And any recent frequent case that you've been getting around this lockdown period? Any specific more of those kind of things coming to you, particular?
There are many kind of cases coming up right now, but the one case which I always want to highlight everywhere is about, violence. So we see there is so much of violence happening these days, and domestic violence has increased like a level way before which was earlier. Like, these kind of demons already prevail in our society, but seeing the current scenario, this has actually expanded more. So, we often, if a person is suffering from something, we don't tend to bother until and unless we ourselves are suffering from the same thing. So I recently happened to have a case where there was some issues going on, and there was a very, very severe domestic violence happening, and there was a very too much of mental stamina involved in it. And the only way which I found out was to involve the family into it. I don't want my client to just wait and watch and suffer until and unless he's at a point and he should come to me or she should come to me. No. I always encourage them that, you should start working then and there itself. So they started
Right.
actually creating an awareness thing where even if the person is not involved to them, or even if he is not related to them directly or indirectly, they just go and talk to a person where this violence is happening, or where this domestic violence especially is happening. And that actually
Right.
proved out to be a very, very good thing. And there were, I won't say a drastic change, but there was a sense of change which everyone can feel in it. So even I would want to request the same thing. Everyone who is watching here, or everyone who is going to listen it, don't wait for things to come at your place and then you start acting upon it. You should start acting once they are near to you, so that you can actually hold these things or these demons to enter your house or your life. And then you may, then you can start regretting that we should have started working on it on a very earlier phase when it was nearby us, rather than for us to wait that it is coming near to or on your own house.
Right, true, very true. And how easy is it for them to, discuss it with their families? Are they comfortable you talking to their families and getting the family involved with these issues?
Yeah, I think it's like it's always good to take a help. It's like if you are not able to solve yourself problems, if you're not able to do it yourself, you would definitely want someone to do it on your behalf. So,
Right.
And taking a help in this particular situation is not at all a taboo, or it's not at all something which will people not look upon. So try to look
Right.
upon help nearby you, try to help people nearby you, and try to figure out the problem which is actually occurring near to you, rather than waiting for it to indulge into your own house.
Right. And also, there was a question from the young mothers and young parents that, because the children are now home, it's very difficult to keep them occupied. Otherwise, they go to school, they have physical activities, they're outdoors. So,
there is
what
one
do you,
comment here. 1 minute, Madhvi, sorry to interrupt. There is one comment here which says, what do you think is the best way to encounter domestic violence? I believe it is case to case, basis to basis. Of course, it's a case to case and basis to basis thing. But the thing is that this thing is prevailing in us. Like this thing is rooted in us. And until and unless we all as a society won't come up, until and unless we all as a society won't put our efforts to work upon it, or, fight with it, then nothing can happen. I or you can be individually working upon it. You can work on case to case basis. But until and unless as a society we won't fight with it, this thing won't go. So before fighting individually, we should have to have, a source or a force which will help you to fight, and, it will actually boost you to give a major fight back. So yes, it's a case to case thing, but at the same time, it's a society thing as well. So we have to take this as a society cause rather than an individual or a case to case thought. I hope I made my point clear.
I'm sure, because I think that's the only way to curb it. And there's no way out but to take the help from the counselor or from somebody who can help you resolve it with the family. And people listen to that person and value the, suggestions made by the person.
Right.
Other thing
It's
that
just a matter. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a matter of, venting yourself out. Most of our mental problems or mental health or mental illness is because we don't vent out ourselves. So until and unless you won't vent out, be it with your family, be with your friends, or be with your counselor, you won't be able to achieve things which you want. So it's just, you have to talk. Talk, and talk. That's the only cure.
Yeah, and that's what Let's Talk is all about. So people should
That's
have
what
no
Let's Talk
inhibition.
is all about.
Yeah, so they should just come up, and even now you're all more than welcome to put up a question. In case if we're not able to see it even right now, we will come back to your query for sure. And other question I had from the young mothers is concerned that how to manage children at home because they're hyper energetic, how to keep them engaged at home and they're not allowed to go outdoors, they're not going to school. So it's coming all on the parents, and they don't know. Children can't meet their friends. They cannot, very little children. They can't even be on a call or a chat or a WhatsApp or playing Ludo on a app or something. So what to do with the kids?
Actually, that's a very challenging task for parents right now. Earlier, like when things were on a normal pace and children used to go to school, so half of the task was taken care by school only. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to offend anyone, but that's a fact. So now, when your children are at home, what you have to do is you have to be the teacher. Like home is always the first school for any of the children. And now, being a mother or being a parent, you have to play a role of a teacher, which teacher is playing. So at most you can do is like, you start matching the mindset of your children. You start playing or you start behaving yourself more than a teacher rather than a mother. Then only you will be able
Right.
to, match the energy they have. And I'm
Right.
sure it's not an easy task, but trust me, it's not that difficult as well. It's because at the end of the day, they are your own children. A teacher who
Absolutely.
hasn't given birth to your children, if he can actually take care of your son or children or very well, then you can definitely do better than that.
Right, absolutely. So you have to be their friend, you have to be their teacher, and do all the roles with the children, and
Right.
give them all that support. Right, what a child
You have
requires.
you have to be child at a time with your children now.
Right, true. More like a friend and a child, and go to their level, and be with them. Great.
Yeah,
And
and at this point of time, you should not you should not panic about cleaning your house or the mess they create. I think that's a very normal thing, and you should actually allow them to do that. And you should be part of it so that they get encouraged, and then you should be part of making them things sorted out, or you can actually start asking your children to help you out to sort out the things and clean up the mess and all. So this way they'll be engaged in a sense, and then after they'll be more responsible towards their own things. So you are actually teaching two-way arounds.
Right, learning and also engaging them. Basically, that's beautiful, wonderful.
Making them responsible for their deeds. And children of that age are very curious to be responsible. Once you ask them that you are so great, you are so responsible, you can do it very well. In spite they don't want to do it, but they'll do it because they feel they are responsible and they want to take that responsibility on their shoulders.
Right. I think they feel good about it, that they're able to complete some task and do it. So that's a great feeling of gratification for them. That's right. True. And another very, a lot of people have asked this question. This has come from many, many couples, basically. So this is like how to get enough space of one's own to avoid conflicts with family. Because you're 24/7 in the family and nobody is used to that. So it's like, I think, the problem of plenty of time with each other.
That's true. So, me time is always important. No matter in which situation we are, me time is more important. So, if a person or if a couple, they understand the value of their me time, they should try to understand or make understand, the value of me time to their partner as well. And once he or her partner are in the same pace, then there won't be any problem. It's like if you value your me time, you should also value respect. You should also value and respect me time or personal time of your partner as well. And it's like a vice versa thing. So you have to be very careful about your me time. At the same time, you have to be very careful about your partner's me time as well. So it's like, it's like always a two-way thing, which you have to do and which you have to explain your partner to do the same thing as well.
Right.
So, and I think this...
Decide to stay together, give space to each other, basically.
Yeah, they can actually make a routine for themselves. Like, this is my half an hour. You can do whatever you want, but you are not coming near to me. As we do in our work for work as well, right? If we have a call, most of us are working on video calls and all the normal calls or any kind of digital calls we are fixed up. Our partner doesn't come and force us to do anything along with them. So at the same time, we have to make sure like this is also a very important time of my day and I have to have it. You have to make this point understand to your partner, and at the same time, you have to be very understanding, giving same time to your partner too. It is never a one-way show. It has to be two-way show. So if you want that time, you have to give that time.
Right. Absolutely. Wonderful, great. And how about the other family members where there are more than just a husband, wife, and children? There are other people, who are also part of the family. So what about the extended families who are staying together, some joint families?
See, if you need to spend time with yourself, I think half an hour or 45 minutes is the maximum time you can actually have with yourself, and you can relish that time for rest of the day, for rest of the 24 hours. So I don't think it will be too difficult for you or anyone to actually make the whole family understand like this is the time which we need. And then We always talk about scheduling ourselves. We always talk about prioritizing and scheduling everything which we are doing day to day because of this lockdown and not going out. So this has to be a very important part of your schedule too. So there has to be a proper, arrangement where one particular time is your time. You are not being disturbed by anyone else. At the same time, you have to create a schedule for your partner as well, your family as well, your children as well. Give some time to breathe to your children as well. Don't sit on their head, because if you need time, children also do need time. So you have to plan and you have to manage things in such a way so that everyone is having their own time without interfering or without disturbing anyone else's schedule.
True. Well said. I think everybody needs space, be it children, be it elderly people, or husband, wife, anyone. So we need to give space to. That's true. Beautiful. Well said. And any tips you could give to strengthen your psychological cord? Any tips that you can give?
I generally say two things to my clients. First is like happiness is the key. So be happy with whatever you do. And second thing is it's okay. Like, it's absolutely fine if you are not feeling good, you are not in a good frame of mind, you are not good in terms of your emotions are actually going haywire. It's all okay. Don't worry too much about it. This is also a phase, and we are into this phase because we are humans. And we are blessed that way that we are getting into all these emotions. So only two things I always say is like, happiness is the key. Just be happy with whatever you do and be okay with whatever is happening with you. Don't stress too much with all these things. Like, I'm not happy, I'm so stressed because I'm not happy. That is actually going to take you on a very unhappier side of yours. So it's okay not to be happy. It's okay not to feel good about anything. It's just okay. So just try to teach your brain, teach yourself two simple things. First thing, it's okay. And second thing is happiness is the key. And things are sorted. Trust me, many of the things get sorted with it.
Beautiful. No, you definitely make it very, very easy and very simple. When we hear you, it gets very, very simplified, which could be a big issue or a big problem for anybody, I've really sorted myself listening to you. So, thank you so much for being here, Kanchan, and taking out your precious time. I would like to inform the audience that tomorrow Kanchan is coming up with good health and well-being with Mr. Arif Muhammad Khan, Governor of Kerala, and Sister Shivani, Vivek Oberoi, Padma Shri Dhanraj Pillai, former captain of Indian hockey team. So please don't miss and watch it at sharp 4 o'clock. Let's talk. Kanchan Rai will be there.
Let us talk.
Yeah, and we'll try to come more regularly on this program. You can send your queries, you can send your questions, and we'll be more than happy to solve it with the mental wellness coach, Kanchan Rai, here with us. Thank you so much, Kanchan.
We have our own Facebook page as well. If you want, you can post your queries there, and confidentiality is like always there. So you don't have to worry about that.
Wonderful. And this will be available on YouTube as well. So you can watch it on YouTube. We are going to put it on Facebook, and a recording of it is with us. So thank you, and look forward for another one very, very soon. And I'm sure it's going to be looking for a feedback from the people. Should be carried on, and would you like to ask questions and hear it more often from us? Thanks. Thank you very much. Thanks. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.